Welcome back, or welcome for the very first time to Worms and Warriors. We're here with a brand new game, Ultimate General American Revolution. As you can no doubt see, the game is still in early access. And before we go any further, let's take a look at the options, just to make sure we've got everything right. I'm going to turn the sound effects down a bit. Obviously, this is something we will work on as the series progresses, but let's just get started with this. I've turned the music right down. If it's still too loud, just pop it in the comments. I mean, I don't know if it is. Basically, we've got normal video resolution, high graphics, vertical sync, I guess. I'm not sure what that means, but I've turned the sound effects down a bit. User interface, button clicks and whatnot. I guess we'll leave that as it is. So we'll apply to that. That's pretty much it for the options. I think I'm going to leave it as that. So just before I get started here, if you are new to this channel, why not hit the subscribe button, follow this series along. It's going to be a good one, I think. I've played this game for about 10 hours so far without publishing content on YouTube, of course, just to get in the swing of it, and I still haven't quite gotten the hang of it, so I will be learning as we go, so that's something to bear in mind. It is quite a complex game, and like I say, it is still in early access, and some parts of this game do feel very early access, or at least they do to me, in terms of I don't quite understand how everything works. Not everything seems to work quite like you would expect it to, but that's something we can look at together and hopefully learn together. So while this is not going to be quite a tutorial, I am still learning the game. So if you know more than I do, which I'm sure some of you will, point me in the right direction in the comments, and that kind of thing is appreciated. So what do we got here? Renderer, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070. So this is just my system, my hardware requirements. It's past the system. My PC's okay. I guess it's like a mid-range one. It was pretty good a couple of years ago, but it's just all right now. So that's where we are. We are going to play the British campaign as outlined in the title of this video, which presumably is why you clicked on it. There's not that much of the British campaign on here, and what there is, I feel some of it's kind of glossing over parts of the game that are not clear, that I would like cleared up. So hopefully I can bring something new to this as well. With that in mind, I will just mention that this video is chaptered. It might be a long one. This first video might be somewhere around an hour. The usual episodes will be somewhere between 25 and 45 minutes. And I usually drop them weekly, although you will have to bear with me because I do work full time as well as running a business on the side and then doing the YouTube content. All that kind of stuff takes a lot of time. And sometimes I can't release a video every week, but usually I will. If you followed the previous series like Grand Tactician, then you'll know that 9 times out of 10 there will be an episode on a Monday from the Grand Tactician campaign. So anyway, that's where we are. I'd like to say a big welcome to the new subscribers who've joined us recently, which is awesome. And again, if you are new here, then hit subscribe. If you are a current subscriber and you want to have early access to videos, if you want to have specialized emojis and loyalty badges, or even choose which game we play next, check out the membership options on the channel and get going on that. So from 99 pence, you will get early access to videos, you will get access to those emojis and stuff like that, like I was saying. So if you are interested in supporting the channel in that way, that would be awesome. If not, that's absolutely fine, of course. Just all I ask is that you would hit like and subscribe, on the videos, because a lot of work goes into these. I know it doesn't seem like it is, but it does take a lot of work to edit these videos, to put them together, and of course, narrate them. I know it's just playing a game, but it does take a little bit of more skill than you would think, actually. I've been doing this for a while now, and I'm still not amazing at it, but obviously I'm always learning. But yeah, anyway, that's probably enough waffling on from me. Last thing I will say is that always, if you're a channel member, you will get access to videos early, and they'll be in the member section. We also have a Discord channel, so if you're into that kind of thing, come and follow us there. Come and say hello. There's lots of like-minded people. We'll have a chat about history, we chat about games, things like that. Everybody's very friendly. So let's get going here. Campaign. Just got to crack open a root beer here before we get started. It is Sunday the 11th of November as I'm recording this. We've just observed a 2-minute silence for the fallen, so a nice time to start a new war, I guess. Make a choice how your story continues. I was born in a family of aristocrats in England. You will play the British campaign, and that's of course what we're doing. You will be the commander-in-chief of the British Expeditionary Force. Nice.
I was the 4th child in the family.
You need 2 names, so we're going to be Worms Warriors. I mean, I know it's not great, but that's what it is.
My family was close to the king, and this afforded me the great privilege. As the youngest in the family, my 3 older brothers have always supported and looked after me.
Make a choice how your story continues. I could find a way out of any situation. I have always tried to participate in all the activities of my brothers. I always knew how to make my family laugh. So these get you different skill points. We've got skill points up here. So intellect. Increases general's line of sight radius. Boosts units range attack damage. Perception. So even this. So this is called intelligence here and intellect on there. I know it's a little thing, but I think that's probably part of it being early access still. Perception. Boosts unit range attack efficiency. Isn't that the same as that? Attack damage, okay, and that's attack efficiency. Endurance increases unit efficiency, boosts unit condition, so it makes them fitter, I guess. Charisma boosts melee attack damage, and willpower boosts unit morale regeneration, decreases unit morale damage. Okay, so willpower sounds like a pretty good one. Endurance sounds like a good one as well. Again, if you followed this channel for a while, you'll know that we played Ultimate General Civil War back in the day as well. And endurance was very important in that game. So this being by the same people, I reckon it probably is important in this one as well. So let's have a look what these choices offer us. So the top one here, I could find a way out of any situation, problem solving. This officer has prioritized finding solutions to problems without delay. He understands that such issues only become more significant when ignored, whether in life, at camp, or on the battlefield. +6 intelligence. Increases line of sight and boosts ranged attack damage. I've always tried to participate in all activities of my brothers. +4 endurance, +4 perception, so teamwork. Endurance and perception. So endurance sounds like a good one. Let's have a look. So knowing how to make your family laugh, social. This officer appeared to be well versed in social conventions and consistently felt at ease participating in social activities and events. +4 intelligence, +4 charisma. Well, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go. Let's go with teamwork. I always try to participate in all activities of my brothers. Lots of younger brothers do that, don't they?
I followed the successful military careers of my brothers with great interest. After finishing school, I decided to follow in their footsteps and joined the army. My father purchased a commission for me as a dragoon officer in time for the War of Austrian Succession, where I served mainly in Flanders. Later, my military service brought me to North America. There, the army was tasked with capturing all of French Canada. I was given command of a battalion of light infantry during the siege of Quebec.
So that's interesting. So he fought on the continent, and then he's gone off to the Americas to fight in the French and Indian War, I want to say. This probably is. I mean, I don't hugely know a lot about 18th century warfare. My area of interest is more around medieval time and then the American Civil War, along with the Napoleonic Wars as well, particularly the Peninsular War. But as far as war in the Americas goes in the 18th century, I don't really know that much about it. I've done a little bit of background reading for this. Again, if you are interested in what I've been reading and studying up on, I'll put an article up on the community tab for members to read. You might not be interested at all, and that's fine. Anyway, so we're now a battalion commander of light infantry in the French and Indian War. So we're probably either a major or a lieutenant colonel, I was assuming. So he mentioned purchasing a commission. Obviously, I'm sure most of you guys know that the British Army worked on the purchase system. So you purchased promotions usually as an officer. So it was kind of reserved for the upper classes. Even nowadays, the British Army is a little bit like this. Not overall, but like kind of in some of the infantry regiments where it's like it's a very la-di-da kind of place for some of the officers. Not all of them. I mean, more officers come from the ranks now, but some of those regiments, like the Guards regiments and stuff, still have upper crust style officers. I mean, obviously they don't purchase commissions, but it's an exclusive sort of club, generally speaking, and it'd be difficult to fit in, I would think, for a normal kind of background person. Maybe not, I don't know. I spent a little bit of time in the military years ago. But anyway, so let's have a look what we got here. Then make a choice how your story continues. My battalion was the first to break into Montreal. During the battle, my soldiers were able to protect the supply routes from attacks of the Indians. I studied the terrain in detail and gave clear instructions to my officers. So let's have a look. What's this? If we're the first one in, the general can command battles and provides morale bonus over a wider area, so we get 10% extra command aura. During the battle, my soldiers were able to protect the supply routes from the Indians, plus 10% spotting. And the bottom one here is tireless. The general can move faster. Your own speed plus 10%. Well, I'm going to go with the first one here. My battalion was the first to break into Montreal, taking the fight to the French there, and we'll get 10% command bonus, command aura bonus. So you can see actually our skills have come up quite a lot from the last one. We've got 22 intelligence, 22 perception, 24 endurance, 23 charisma, and 20 willpower. I don't know if this is randomized in any sort of way as we go through these little scenarios, because like I say, I've only done this once, so I'm not really sure, and I can't actually remember what it was. But let's get going here. So my battalion was the first to break in. We're getting an extra bit of command aura.
Within a year, I had gained command of the regiment and performed well in the Battle of Sanfoy. Unfortunately, the war took away my closest brother and best friend.
So we're now a full colonel, I would imagine, in charge of a full regiment, and brother's been killed. This picture is reminiscent of the fall of General Wolfe. Okay, so make a choice. Having received the order to retreat, I counter-attacked and changed the course of the battle. That would give us -7 perception. Having detected the enemy and gave the order to attack without reconnaissance, which allowed us to capture the fort on the move. 7 willpower coming down. I don't want that because the willpower is only on 24. I gave the order to execute prisoners after the battle of Vengeful. Again, I think we're going to lose 5 charisma and 5 willpower. I don't want that. So let's go with the perception loss. I know it's not ideal. We're going to lose 7 perception. That's going to take us to 19. Yeah, let's do it. Oh, but actually it's gone to 27, so I guess he still gained some experience.
And a year later, I commanded a brigade in the Montreal campaign.
So now a brigadier, possibly brigadier general at the time. I'm not sure if the rank structure was. Maybe even a major general, actually. They could command brigades in the British Army at this time. Brigade commander in the Montreal campaign. Let's see what we've got then. Make a choice on how your story continues. In the battle for Montreal, I managed to negotiate with the Indians not to participate in the battle. -20 tension with the natives. During the Montreal campaign, I successfully created a network of couriers to send messages. Plus 15% reporting. Again, I'm not entirely sure what the reporting is. Maybe it is showing us enemy strength and stuff like that. After the capture of Montreal, my soldiers were able to find the French resources. Plus 10% loot. You know what? I'm going to go with this because I think having Indian allies, or native allies, whatever you want to call them, I suppose Indian allies would be fitting for the time. I'll go with that. -20 tension with the natives.
Having shown my talent as a commander in many battles, I was promoted to the rank of general. After the war, I returned to England, where I was involved in the development of the army and taught at the Royal Military Academy.
So our stats are looking pretty good. 37 intelligence, 31 perception, 34 endurance, 29 charisma, and 30 willpower. Maybe if we can raise charisma or willpower here, that would be good. So what do we do here then? I was engaged in improving the equipment of soldiers, which made it possible to carry more ammunition. So that'll be 15% ammo. From the experience of military operations in North America, I suggested improvements for the food carts. I've developed rules and instructions for collecting food from the population. Let's go with the ammo, 15% extra ammo.
My rank and birthright secured me a seat in Parliament. On questions related to the American colonies, I have always...
Ooh, so we're a member of Parliament now, making decisions. So we are now intelligence 38, perception 33, endurance 35, charisma's gone to 34, and willpower's on 31. So let's see what we can do here. As a member of Parliament, I am arguing for fairer treatment of the American colonies. Plus 10% loyalty. Voted for subsidies for resource extraction. Minus 10% mining cost. Not sure why the little dollar signs there. Supported a project to create a network of garrisons. Plus 1 infantry unit. You will receive plus 1 infantry unit from the start. Let's go with that. I'll have an extra infantry unit. I don't think. Plus 10 loyalty. Is that going to make much difference? Probably not, because we're going to have a rebellion Either way, I mean, I suppose it might make things a little bit easier. Minus 10% mining cost? Nah. Let's go for the extra infantry. We can use an extra regiment.
While I advocated for moderate treatment of the colonies, unfortunately, the situation got out of hand. I must fulfill my duty to England and the King to restore order in the American colonies.
Okay. We can pick a picture. I mean, there's only a few to choose from. Let's go with this dude. We've got Intelligence 43, Perception 34, Endurance 37, Charisma 40, and Willpower 37. I think that's pretty well rounded. I'm going to leave it on normal because, truth be told, I don't know this game very well. So let's leave it on normal. We'll see how that goes. And I'm going to click begin. We're going to start the campaign. So let's go. Let's go. All right. So here we are, loaded in. King George III dispatched me to America to stabilize the colonies amid the growing discontent among the colonists. Despite my reservations about setting sail during the winter months, yeah, I bet crossing that Atlantic in those conditions wouldn't have been good, the gravity of the situation compelled a swift departure. Regrettably, our voyage has been arduous. Initially, we endured a prolonged stretch of calm, followed by a series of fierce storms. These tempests resulted in the loss of several troop-carrying vessels from our fleet, leaving us with nothing but hope for their survival. It now falls to me to select a port that will serve as my base, enabling the restoration and maintenance of order throughout the colonies. Massive loyalty drop almost all over the colonies. Alright, so we're starting with that. We're going to leave a pause for the moment, because before we get started, this is a new game. New game for me, probably maybe new game to you. I want to kind of showcase what it's got going on. If you're on the fence about buying it, maybe see if you think it's worth it. So, where do we get this little thing? Territorial control. So everything is under our control at the moment. We can see it's all in red. There's nothing much going on at the moment in terms of rebellions, but it is still February the 16th, 1775. There are, of course, tensions and there are problems. So the game starts off and it holds your hand a little bit. It talks you through the different bits and pieces we need to do, so like to unlock things. So as you can see here, like for example, the Britain screen is still locked. There'll be something coming up telling us what we have to do to unlock that. Nothing's really started yet. We'll start with 50,000 finances, 30 materials, 750,000 people live here. That is, let's have a look. I'm not really sure how they've worked this out. 2937.9k. Okay. So 2,937.9 thousand? Well, I don't know, but it's probably quite a lot. Specialist reports. So we've got 100 specialists. Specialists are needed to become low-ranking officers in companies and ships. They are also needed for the management of civil buildings. You can increase their number by constructing education buildings in settlements. Army size. So at the moment, this isn't really set up properly. We've got 16 regiments. We've got 2 of 4 generals. 1 cavalry squadron. All right. So the map is large. You can see it's the colonies, of course, here. Historically, the war started up in Massachusetts and kind of started spreading southwards. It spread from Massachusetts down into New York, New Jersey, and then all the way down into the Carolinas and Georgia by kind of 1780. Like I say, I might have that completely not quite right, but it's one of those. It's a strange kind of war the way it developed, but it's interesting. It's an interesting one. So here's the overview. This is the supply network. We can see the green lines where supply is flowing. This is like you've got to keep an eye on supply because your troops obviously need to eat. They need to have ammunition and so on. So we can see how much is stored everywhere. It's 25 and 2, so 25 provisions and 2 ammunition, I want to say. 25 and 20 here at Fort Stevens. Portsmouth has 25 and 2. We've got Boston, which is obviously got a bit more here. 43 provisions and 26 ammunition, and so on. Fort Niagara is another big one up there. Our Canadian provinces here, Quebec and Trois-Rivières Rivières, is that how we say it? I'm not sure. Montreal. We have to keep an eye on these places, and obviously, as the game develops, we will show how all this works. So you probably recognise this area from the Civil War games we've been playing on here, Richmond, Fredericksburg, all those places where there was a lot of fighting and a lot of action. Savannah, Charlestown. So we need to really keep hold of places like that. Certainly the larger ports, if we can, for as long as we can, to keep supply flowing from Britain, and to keep obviously the larger cities, which we want to maintain. So that's that. Then we've got mining and resource productions. We got like tobacco and cotton. What's this? Saltpeter, more tobacco, copper, coal. Coal is an important one. Furs. We'll probably make a lot of money on furs as the game goes on. We've got some gold places as well, so it boosts income. So these are important places to keep a hold of. I like it. In the last game, I actually garrisoned this with regular troops. This area down here, I can't remember what it's called, but let's have a look up here. Oh, Castine, yes. I garrisoned this with real troops because I wanted to hold on to it. Because it's got gold production, it's got a port, it's got furs, and it gives us a good bit to hang on to. Not sure where this is. Is this Penobscot Woods? Not sure. I've heard of the Penobscot expedition, but I don't know. I don't know where this is. Is it Maine, maybe? Or is that Canada? I don't know. Not sure, but I held on to it last time anyway when I played. So the first thing we really need to decide is our base of operations. So there I am, Worms. We've got a couple of regiments here. Can we change the names of these regiments? I'm not sure. Maybe we can. I'll land them. We're going to go to Boston anyway. We are going to go to Boston. So Boston is our main area of operations. We already got 2 regiments in Boston. However, we don't really have troops anywhere else, and we can't yet form militias either. So it's a bit of a problem. So things like New York's got no garrison in it whatsoever. Baltimore, another important one, we'll probably garrison that. And then we'll also garrison the southern areas here. So Charleston, Wilmington, and Savannah, probably we'll garrison those with militia to start with, and then if needs be we'll move our regular troops down there. So like I say, it does kind of hold your hand to start with, and it gives you little missions to get you going. So it's going to be a bit slow going this campaign, but stick with it. I think it'll be a good one once we get going. So I'm going to get started. We're going to press play. The campaign's going from February the 16th, 1775. As we all know, independence was declared on July the 4th, 1776. So we've got like roughly 18 months, give or take, to get things ready for the rebellion. So let's get started. The map is quite beautiful. I do like it. I like this little 3D effect. I like the terrain. One thing I will say is it's annoying that this is actually as far as you can zoom out. But you can have a mini-map on like this so you can see where everyone is. As we progress into the rebellion, we'll start getting blue dots here as forts and cities flip to the rebels. Armies will show, things like that. International committee is available, but I'm not sure how. So at the moment, we've only really got access to the army management, which, there's not much really going on there. Regiments, empty garrisons. We've just got some garrisons dotted around, like 120 men. It's like a company kind of thing. Our troops in Boston, we've got 1,160 infantry with 8 artillery in support. Fort Ticonderoga. There's some crazy names here as well, so if I stumble over them, then, just bear with me. 480 men there. Fort St. John, 480 men again. So, actually, it says 580. Oh, some of them are gunners, okay. Artillery, so 4 of those. And Montreal has a garrison of 580, so that's handy to know. This star on the map is our general. These little ships going around, this is like trade ships. It tells us if I've just clicked on here just outside of Newport. It tells you all about it. So, count of traders travelled the sea within the last week. So, 1. Friendly traders is 1. Enemy traders travelled, none. We haven't really got enemies just yet. I mean, tensions are very high here. But we haven't had the opening battles of the war or anything. Friendly traders lost. And enemy traders captured. So once we get going, we'll be able to put our ships out here and start, patrolling the place and seeking out the enemy. Boston has quite a large fleet already. It's got 6 ships here. It's got 68 gunner, 78 gun third rate, I want to say. HMS Bon Citoyen? Okay. Does it tell us what kind of ship this is? I don't think so. Oh yeah, third rate. Okay, so yeah, 78 guns, third rate, standard. There's 3 different decks here. You've got 3 different kinds of guns. So Blomfield 32 pounders, 32 pound guns are no joke on a ship. 18 pounders for the middle deck, and the top deck with 9 pounders. So this is a heavily armed ship. And yes, we can actually rename them. So yeah, excellent. I wonder if we can also rename regiments. If so, let's take a look. Yes, we can rename them. So, as a further perk, if you're a member of this channel and you want to rename a regiment, just go right ahead and do that. From the sergeant level and up, so that's for 99 pence contribution, you can name your own regiment. If we can also change commanders' names, you can also change yours in there if you want, but I don't know if we can. I don't think we can. Well, we can upgrade some of these perks already, but I'll leave it for now. If anybody wants a unit, I mean, you might not, which is obviously fine. If you're a channel member, let me know if you want a regiment named in game. If you're not a channel member, become a channel member for 99p and you can name a unit, as well as the other perks, of course. So we can see lots of ships going now here, all heading towards Portsmouth and Boston. You know, 10 ships have passed through this region in the last few days. It's now Sunday. You can see the day ticking over here. Speed things up a little bit. We're producing muskets and artillery. Okay, so what we've got here then. The resignation of Thomas Hutchinson. Thomas Hutchinson, recognised as the Royal Governor of Massachusetts for his steadfast loyalist sympathies, abdicated his position in February 1775. This departure was particularly significant as it removed a contentious figure from colonial politics and heightened patriot hopes for a change in British policies towards the colonies. So minus 20% loyalty in Leicester, Middlesbrough, Boston, and Hatfield. So there we've got Middlesbrough there, Leicester, Hatfield. Where's that? Hatfield here. Okay, so loyalty is waning. We're down to 50% already. Leicester's down to 45, Boston to 41, Middlesbrough 45, Providence still on 90%. So Providence and Newport are 2 important places that we need to keep a hold of. So Rhode Island's cities, towns, cities. I'm not sure of the cities yet. New Haven, another important one in Connecticut. Hartford, Connecticut is another important place. Okay, so our fleet has arrived. Let's land these troops. So we're going to select them. We're going to say transfer to garrison. We've now got some more ships here as well. We've got HMS Elephant. Again, if you're a channel member, if you want a ship named, let me know. We've got 7th rate brig, another brig. What's this one? 6th rate Cerberus class corvette. 40 gun frigate, a 5th rate. Nice. Got some decent ships there. Again, lightly armed, these brigs, 6 pounders, but still, they're pretty decent. Okay, so in Boston itself now, we've got 4 regiments of infantry. That's a decent little force. Having troops stationed in cities negates the rebellion risk somewhat. So with this kind of level of troops, I would imagine there'd be 0%. Yeah, current garrison reduces rebellion chance to by 100%. So with the garrison of 4 regiments of infantry plus the general, there is no chance that Boston will rebel. If we move the troops out of there, that'll change. So for example, let's look at Middlesbrough. It's on 45%. You need at least 589 soldiers in your current garrison. So that means to stop rebellion, you would need at least 589 men. So like a regiment, basically. To prevent a rebellion, you need more than 32% loyalty, and current loyalty is 45%. So it is still okay for that. Construction points, as we can see here, this also feeds into how long it takes things to construct. But obviously we can't construct anything just yet. Let's just move time on. We've made a bit of extra money here. We're on 87,000. This is something they fixed as well, because previously you were losing so much money when you had your fleet in there that like you literally had to disband every single ship that you had just to be able to break even on the money. Now it's been fixed, so now you can make money without that, without the need to disband everything. I'm not sure why these are blue. Maybe because they're forts. Yes, it looks like the major forts are blue. Blue stripes with the name. So Fort Clinton there, Fort Montgomery. These are real forts. Not that I'm going to garrison in, but you know, they are proper forts. So the lighter striped ones are cities. Let's move time on. After we set sail, it seems the king made the significant decision to appoint me as the Governor General of all the colonies. This appointment has granted me both immense honour and considerable responsibility as I take on the leadership of the colonies during such tumultuous times. Your nomination signalled a more aggressive British stance towards colonial resistance, further intensifying the conflict with American patriots. So we got 50,000 from Britain. It's damaged our relations with the US by 10. I mean, you know, current tensions are 72. I'm not sure if that's out of 100, but if it is, that's pretty high. We can now have the headquarters department, so we can start researching things. That's the next thing we're going to look at. So the research thing opens up here. We're going to end up with all of these departments open, and this is our area of research, basically. So I'm going to wait until it tells us to do one. We could start now, but I want to wait, just to make sure we do the right one to follow this through properly. So usually when something new opens on the following day, so this happened on the Wednesday, it's now Thursday, on the following day, it gives you like a little mission. So we've got 18 days to complete this. We need supply and logistics department. That's going to get us +5 of these star points. I can't remember what they're called now. I'll check it out in a minute. And 5,000. What are these star things called again? Reputation, of course. So it tells us up here, like the new things that happen up here, so you can assign projects in the HQ. So here we are. And we need it to research, supply, and logistics. So let's go ahead and do that. We just press it. Assign project. It's going to take 6 days, or we can use 6 of our points. I don't really want to use 6 of our points just yet, so let's just give it a couple of days and then maybe use 5 of them, because we'll replace those anyway. Reinforce your troops. So this is what I was talking about, the kind of hand-holding and how it's getting you ready for the campaign and getting you a little tutorial kind of while you're playing. So the situation in America is becoming increasingly tense. We need more troops and a fleet to ensure order in the colonies. Please send at least 1 regiment and 1 warship to the colonies. We've got 21 days to do that. We will get a reward of 10 reputation points. If we fail, we lose 10. You can create army units at your bases in Britain, establish a regiment to prepare expeditionary forces for further deployment to the colony. So again, we've got 20 days to make a new regiment, and we'll do that now. So to go to Britain, we click on the little bit at the bottom here, bottom right corner of the screen, Great Britain. We've only got 1 port at the moment, which is Bristol. As the game goes on, we will get more. So 3 more transports are demanded. We've got 8, or 3 are demanded. We've got 8. I'm not sure. This is how we send recruits over to reinforce our troops in the Americas. That'll become more apparent as we get more into it. Production and stuff like that, again, is something I'll talk more about as we get on. So these are muskets. So the Brown Bess 69, that's an infantry musket. The short Brown Bess, I think, is for cavalry. Markets, we can buy different kinds of muskets, if you need them. So at the moment, we've got 3,000 Brown Besses in storage for our infantry, and there's 2,400 available on the market. So if we wanted to buy them, we could buy 2,432. The Charleville 66 musket, there's 67 of those. Spanish 55s, 60. And again, it shows us the quality of those if we hover over them, I believe. Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't. I thought it did. I clicked on the wrong thing. Well, anyway. We can buy them, and civilian muskets. So civilian muskets are a bit pants. As you can see, these are the stats for them. I mean, they're more or less kind of the same. So the Brown Bess 10, 50, 11. The Charleville 10, 46, 10.5. Just slightly worse than the Brown Bess. 10, 46 and 10.8. So the Spanish one is a little bit better than the Charleville, but still not great. Which is strange because it's a little bit cheaper as well. It's one gold cheaper. The short Brown Bess 1060 10.5. So that's actually pretty decent. I can't remember what the 60 is. There. of course. So that's reload, okay, so the reload is 60, melee 10.5, and efficiency is 10. The civilian musket, you can see here, efficiency is only 8, the reload is 46, and melee is 9. So these aren't amazing, but they're probably, I mean, they'll do the job for your militia, I guess. Oops. Didn't realize that would take us back there. So anyway, we're going to recruit a new regiment. So let's go to the barracks. We've already got 2 regiments and some cavalry ready. So that's going to be the core of our expeditionary force coming in to reinforce us. As well as that, we've got Francis Smith available as the general. So we had to create a fleet for this. Navy. I'm going to just send over one of these. HMS Lookout. And then we're going to click on the army and we're going to move all these guys across. They can go with unarmed troop ships for now because the war isn't really on yet, and they're going with a Royal Navy ship anyway. So we're going to send these guys over to America. It's going to take 31 days to get there. Let's send them going. And our barracks are now empty. Let's create an infantry regiment. To do this, we select the commander. So Matthew Duncan, he'll do. He's got some pretty well-rounded numbers there. And we're going to create a Fusilier regiment. Remember, we had 3,000 Brown Besses in the arsenal. Now these regiments come with like kind of company size units. Choose the company tree, yeah, so there we are, companies. They're going to be 120 men. They're going to be armed with Brown Besses. This, can you see, they start with 20, so then they gradually build over time. More Fusiliers, and if we had different weapons available, we could choose them here, but we only have the Brown Bess for our infantry at the moment. So 3 companies of those guys. I'm going to add some artillery, and again, if we had other artillery available, like for example, I used the 4-pound Galloper gun quite a bit in my last game. It's a bit cheaper than the 6-pound field gun, and not that much inferior, to be honest. But we've got 6-pounders, so let's add them. Then we can add a specialist company, which at the moment is either skirmishers or supply. I'm going to add a skirmisher unit. And then we have another specialist company, so you see the little star. So these will be more experienced troops, and I'm going to give them to a grenadier company. So grenadier companies are the elite assault troops of a regiment, usually the tallest, strongest men that they can find. They'll put in there. So let's get them guys in. Okay, so that's a regiment coming. Let's create that. That is just called infantry regiment. I'm not sure if we can maybe change that as they are made, but so as you can see, it's 120 men, and that will gradually grow up to 680 or 700 men. I can't quite remember which. So we have now secured those 2 objectives. We have done the recruiting of a regiment, and we've sent over the fleet. And you can see the fleet is on its way back to the Americas. If you're ever not sure how to do something, you can click on this and it will show you on the little play tutorial. So create a regiment in Britain, let's click that and it shows you how to do it. So if you're ever stuck, it's up here and it'll show you exactly how to do that. There's not a lot to do at the moment except for let time tick by. Let's just have a quick check of this. So we're down to 5 days with this, and actually let's spend some reputation to just get it done. Okay, so let's do supply and logistics. The supply and logistics department will enable you to research various projects aimed at enhancing the support for your army. Let's do it. We're down to 66 of those points. I mean, that's absolutely fine. That's no problem whatsoever. Speed this up, and usually the next day it'll come through. It appears that a portion of the lost fleet has successfully reached the shores of America. This development will significantly aid in maintaining order within the colonies. Regrettably, the whereabouts of the remaining fleet are unknown, leaving us with nothing but hopes for their safety. So, if you remember when we arrived, they said the fleet had been messed up, basically. Some of it got lost, so some of it's been found. Excellent. Supply and logistics. You've established the supply and logistics department. Since the primary production is in England, while the resources are located in the colonies, it is essential to establish secure transportation links between the colonies and the metropolis, ensuring a timely supply for the expeditionary troops. So the majority of our things are being produced, like ammunition, provisions, stuff like that, is being produced in England or in Britain and shipped over to the Americas. That's, of course, part of the reason why this war was so difficult for the British, because the sheer logistics required for this is just, it's immense. The more reading I've done about this war, actually, I can't even believe it went on as long as it did. It was... Britain lost this war, as everybody knows, of course, but I feel like Britain didn't really take this war as seriously as they should have done. It was kind of viewed more as a bit of a side project almost for them. Like just, oh, it's trouble in the colonies. They should really in hindsight, have taken this a lot more seriously and probably had more troops stationed here, certainly more naval units to stop the French from interfering, because essentially it's the French joining the Americans that caused the victory overall. Not to say that the Americans didn't fight hard, they did, but French arms, French ships and French money and troops certainly helped along the way as well. It was a tough war for Britain, and they should have taken it more seriously, but that's why they lost the war. But that's completely beside the point. It's just I just thought I would share that from my recent reading, which I found really interesting, actually. I love learning new things. And since, as I mentioned, I'm certainly no expert on this war. You've established the supply network. Okay, so let's get on with that. The department started operating, so we've got our bonuses here. We've got 5 reputation points plus £5,000. Your fleet with troops has left England and sailed for America. Strengthen our position. Yeah, so that's what we did there. We've got an extra 10 points for that. We've also created a regiment, which is an extra 5 reputation points and an extra 2.5 grand. Nice one. To support our army and economy, we need to develop projects in regions to construct the construction of mines, manufactories, so factories, and farms will enable us to supply the army effectively. Additionally, we must not overlook the importance of infrastructure, as it is crucial for logistics and the overall economy of the region. So, start regional upgrade. Construction of a building in a settlement. Each settlement allows you to construct a variety of buildings that offer distinct advantages. It is essential to develop settlements to ensure your needs and those of Britain are met. So we need to build something, and we're going to get more rewards for that. Produce ammunition in England. To supply the army and navy, it is essential to establish production capabilities. You can manufacture various items both in England and in the colonies. For production, factories and shipyards are required. Produce ammunition to ensure our troops are equipped with gunpowder and bullets. Let's just get this paused. So it wants us to produce 10 ammunition in England. Production control will be available after you've established in the headquarters the engineering department for the US campaign, the Royal Colony Department for the British campaign. Okay, use the production tab to develop production chains of military equipment. So as we can see in the video, there we are. So we need resources, we need factories, and we need an order, I guess. So you also need to extract resources or purchase them in the market. So the video is showing us how to do this. Let's go and have a look for ourselves. So actually, the first thing I'm going to do, I want to sort that fleet out. That's just arrived. So there is the fleet. It doesn't have a general in it, but we do have 2 regiments of infantry. So where do we want those infantry to go? I was thinking I might send them to New York, so we've got a bit of a presence down here. So I just want to do that before I forget, basically. So that's our fleet there. It's on its way to New York with an extra ship as well. HMS Winchelsea. Nice. What kind of ship is that? 6th class Cerberus class corvette. 6th rate, sorry. Nice. So in Britain, we are going to go to the production management. And we need to make 10 ammunition. It's going to make 3 per day apply. Alright. So this should be done in 4 days' time. Let's see if it is. It is the 25th, so in 4 days that should be done. Start construction of a building in a settlement. So let's go to Boston. Where... Well, loyalty's on its way up, but I doubt that'll last. But what we will do is I'm going to make a capital here. Okay, so there's that. And then actually, what else we want to do up here at Castine, which is I was talking about earlier. I might bring a regiment up here again to keep hold of this, because it's quite a handy little place with its gold mine and whatnot. I wanted to open up the mine in here, but that option is not available yet. Start construction of a building. We've done that. Start the construction of a facility in a region. So I think that means like on here. But I think that opens up after we get the bonus for the construction of the building. So let's just wait for that. Headquarters. So now again, we've got supply and logistics open. And Council of War, which I will assign here. Let's have a look at these guys. 45 and 52. I'm not entirely sure what these numbers are, but obviously we want higher numbers where possible. Lionel Rigby, 41 and 46. 51 and 46 sounds pretty good. Anthony Mulrillion. Let's put him in there. 59 and 56. That's pretty good. And now he can research something else for us. So he's in charge of supply and logistics. And he's going to research this. The only one available. Supply and logistics 1 plus 5% research speed. And it's going to let us have the blacksmith shop. Okay. Double click that. And then it goes. It's going to take 43 days. And let's speed this up. You've started construction, and this will allow you to improve the settlement and give us bonuses in the future. Okay, so plus 5 of those. You have the right to give the regional officer the opportunity to improve the situation or to execute sabotage. Organize any mission. Replenish our troops from the colonies. You need to send some recruits from England. I touched on that briefly earlier. We'll have a look at that. While local recruits are suitable for the militia, it's essential to send reinforcements from England to ensure your troops are adequately bolstered in time. So let's go back to England. So this is our recruits here. Set the desired recruits to be transferred to the colonies. These recruits can only be used to replenish professional units that were previously recruited at any home port and transported to the colony. So the guys we recruit here need these dudes to reinforce them. Let's send 100 recruits over. We are not making anything here because I think we've got no saltpeter or coal according to this. But how can that be? Surely we've got some of that. Supply. I don't really understand that. This is one of the things I was talking about, you know, when I'm just not sure. Ammunition. We've got nothing in storage. Provision. We've got nothing in storage. Tea. We've got nothing. Spices. We've got nothing. And luxury. We've got nothing. Resources. Coppers. Nothing. Iron, nothing. Saltpeter, nothing. Coal, nothing. How can that be? Wood, nothing. So, hang on, let's have a look here. So we need coal and saltpeter. Am I missing something? I mean, I could well be. Saltpeter, let's buy some. I'm going to buy 20 bits of saltpeter. Let's buy 20 coal. Even though, I mean, we produce coal, surely. Okay, so we've got that now. So really we should be starting to construct this now. We've got to start a mission somewhere as well. Missions are done by this tab at the top here. So we just click on the region. Click on here, you can start a mission. So let's do construction mission. After we set sail, the king made the pivotal decision to appoint me as the Governor General of all colonies. It is indeed a significant honour and responsibility for me to take on the leadership of these colonies during such a challenging time. Your appointment signified a shift towards more assertive, yeah, we know that, colonial secretary, so we can do that now. You've successfully sent transports with recruits. That's what we just did in England there. We got an extra 5 reputation points and 2,500. I was going to put a construction guy in here. We'll boost construction in the region. Costs us 500 per week. Let's stick that guy in there. Okay, so we still can't do this, which I'm not sure why. It's going to take 31 days for them to complete that capital building. We still actually can't build any other buildings, which is also odd. So we have started producing now. Look, you can see we only need 7 more ammunition. So purchasing those items obviously kickstarted our economy a little bit. Okay, nice. We could actually make a little bit more. We're about to need ammunition, I'm sure. You've successfully started a mission, so we've got an extra 10 reputation and another £5,000. So we've got 103 reputation points. Let's see if we could just... We'll spend some. Let's get rid of this. Council of War. So the next day, that should be then sorted out. We need to produce another 4 ammunition. I wonder why we can only produce 3 per day. That doesn't seem like a lot, unless 3 ammunition is a lot in this game. It doesn't seem like it would be. Muskets, if we make more brown best muskets, I mean, how many of them should we make? That's using iron and wood. Have we got that? Let's make 800, enough for an extra regiment. So again, it's early access, I know, but I said let's use let's make 800, and it's come as continuous, which I didn't ask it to. In fact, 700 will probably do. So have we got 6 factories? Is that right? Required in various item production. So all 6 factories, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are working on ammunition. So, like if we, so if we drop that down to 5, then it gives us 1 factory making muskets, and they're going to make 3 per day. 3? Really? There's still 2 per day if we drop down to that. Okay, let's have it like that. So 3 factories are working on ammunition, 3 factories are working on the brown best muskets. I don't know why all the red is there. Anyway, let's just see what happens here. You received a report on changes in relations between other nations. So tensions between the USA and Miami's rise by 12, so more tension. Between Spain and the Creek also rise, and the Iroquois and the Spanish. In response to the intolerable acts, the Patriots laid a solid foundation for resistance against British oppression. These resolutions called for a boycott of British goods, the formation of militias, and the establishment of provincial congress, effectively setting the stage for organised opposition. The Suffolk Resolves. Okay, so we've got a massive drop of loyalty across the board here. The Council of War. You can now build a powerful army to crush the rebellion in the 13 colonies and restore the Crown's authority. Well, not just yet, I don't think, but soon we will. This is our projects finished. I'm just going to clear them away. We can spend reputation to speed up projects at the HQ. We can assign a project at the HQ. Yeah. Let's get the Colonial Secretary going. And the Council of War. This guy's got 70 in there and 59. That looks pretty good to me. Let's put him in. Colonial garrisons plus 7.5% research speed. That'll be very handy indeed. So Colonial Secretary is working. That means we can have an engineering department. So market. We could buy some stuff because we've got nothing in the Americas. We've got no muskets here at all, which is certainly a bit of an issue. I will buy some when we raise militia. Has that other fleet arrived in New York? Oh, it's nearly there now. Excellent. So that'll put 2 regiments in here. Maybe I'll send Smith here when he arrives with his fleet as well. And that could be our little force around New York. Which, I mean, we could always march back up to here. It's not a million miles away from it. You have successfully produced the required amount of ammunition. Now you are ready to establish a stable supply of everything necessary for the army and navy. Okay. Are we? We still can't open this up. So we can't make any regional improvements. I don't really know why. Let's speed up the Colonial Secretary with 8 reputation points. Start the construction of a facility in a region. Yeah, but we can't do that. So that's the next thing we need to do. We can improve the infrastructure. Plus 3 region construction slots. Well, Boston's going to be an important place. Let's do it. Just speeding things up a little bit. It is damn cold in Boston. Minus 20 Celsius. Jeez. Minus 26 at Castine. Crazy. Miraculous rescue. Heaven has blessed us and the final part of the fleet has arrived. Now we can fully reinforce the British garrisons in the colonies. Excellent. You've gained access to the Colonial Secretary Department in Britain. You can now further develop your bases, enhancing your relationship with Parliament and the King, and gain access to the diplomacy panel. Upgrade successful. I'm not sure what that's for. We upgraded something. Was it because we upgraded this? Possibly. The fleet has arrived. Okay, so what have we got here then? Aha! So we've got a regiment of cavalry, dragoons, and a regiment of infantry. Okay, nice. First thing I want to do, I'm going to drop the infantry off at Castine because I want to keep a hold of that. I want to have a force up here. We want to develop the fur trade up here, maybe. I don't know why I still can't build anything. Because the chief engineer department has not been established. Okay, well, how do we do that? We could start looking at this. So that's going to get us some militia regiments. Means we're going to have 5 regiments. We'll have to carefully think where we put them. 39 days. It's going to be a while. Oh, the colonial secretary here as well. Let's assign somebody to that. Yeah, this dude. Port enhancement plus 5%. Yeah, okay. So 42 days for that. Everything's taking a long time. It's March the 3rd, 1775, so we're not miles into the game. Money-wise, we're looking good. Materials, we're looking good. Yeah, so when Smith arrives, I want to place him in New York, I think. Maybe I'll leave 1 regiment in New York and move the rest to New Haven. Not entirely sure. We will definitely need more troops in Massachusetts as well. Just speeding things up a little bit here. Okay, so these guys have arrived. Let's whack the 8th Regiment of Foot into the garrison there. The rest of the guys can hit Boston. So that's going to give us a cavalry regiment here, which would be nice. So you can see it's a very slow build up to the war, which is nice. I do like that. I mean, it doesn't, I guess, maybe make for exciting viewing, but I think it's good for learning the game. It's good for getting you into the feel for it, into the swing for it. However, I'm still not sure why we can't do this. The slot is locked because Chief Engineer Department is not established in HQ. Well, how do we do that? Where is Chief Engineer Department? There's not even one here. Supply and Logistics, Council of War, Royal Colony, and Secret Service. None of those are Chief Engineer. Like, none of the options are Chief Engineer, so I'm not seeing it. Well, hopefully it'll sort itself out sooner rather than later, because I'm a bit confused. If you know what the problem is, then do let me know. So we've got ships on the way now with items that... Maybe that's why we haven't got anything before. Why we didn't have anything before. Still only have 6 factories, though. That's a bit annoying. So we can lease foreign infrastructure, so we could lease more factories. And do we send this ammunition straight over? Do I need to do something with that? I really don't know. Wagon? Let's make some wagons. Let's make 20 wagons. I guess we probably need wagons, don't we? We're making 2 per day. 1 per day. And we're going to make 11 muskets per day. Okay. How do we get more factories? Let's speed this up. His Majesty has decided to assist you in establishing order in the colonies. He offers a selection of items that you may find useful. So 4,200 recruits. HMS Norseman. Or I need your trust to successfully complete my mission. Let's go for the recruits. Our army size is almost full as well. We've got 25 regiments. Oh no, we can have 56. Sorry, I read that as 26. I'm going to build a capital city, like a capital building in Portsmouth as well. Okay, so that takes our garrison in Boston up to 3,000. I'm going to march one of these regiments to Middlesbrough. Leave garrison. So that is 32nd Regiment. They're going to go to Middlesbrough. See, they've lost men straight away. Lost 2. 1 from disease, 1 from desertion. That's what happens when you're marching around in the middle of winter, I suppose. Yeah, join the garrison there. That should hopefully mean that this does not now rebel yet. 100%. The current garrison reduces rebellion chance by 100%, so that's good. We still can't make any production in the colonies. We can buy some things, but don't really want to. We've got one Brown Bess musket. Why is that from the guy who died? Maybe. I'm not sure. I mean, it is coming up here with muskets and artillery. I'm not really sure what that's telling us. So we can assign different doctrines. Georgia, Savannah, Charleston. So we can have the local governor kind of take charge of this. So if we wanted to say, have him develop the area for supply, then we could tell the guy in South Carolina, in Charleston, South Carolina, to do that. Or army development, direct the local patriot committees. Patriot committees? Shouldn't that be loyalist? But I'm not sure. Committees to organize the development of this colony to army directions. I'm going to leave that alone for now, but that's handy to know. Colonial garrisons. What did that do again? 7.5% added research speed. So I think that might be worth spending some money on since we're taking forever with all this stuff. Reputation. So we're down to 86. And let's go straight on to Garrison Command, which is going to give us 10% research speed. It's barely taking anything off, really, but 7.5% is not a huge amount, is it? We'll develop a few of these Galloper guns. We'll do 12, maybe. 3 days left. Does that mean they're going to be finished in 3 days? I guess. Wagons, we now have 6 at least. Brown Bess muskets, 2,400. So we've made almost 200 of them. That's not too bad. We are still making decent money. We still can't produce anything here. I don't know why. You need to research Royal Colony. Well, aren't we doing that? The colonies must pay. England faced considerable public debt, primarily due to ongoing military conflicts and imperial ambitions. The 7 Years' War, which involved costly military campaigns across Europe, America and beyond, left the British government significantly in debt. Your primary responsibility is to ensure a consistent influx of funds from the colonies, which the Crown urgently needs. Yeah. Okay, so it's more drop in. Loyalty and tension going up. The Royal Colony Department is established. Okay. You can now enhance your infrastructure, boost the economy. Excellent. Let's take a look. So, Royal Colony. Let's give it to this guy. Lumber mill. It's the only option, so let's do that. Okay. Does that mean we can now start constructing some things? Yes, we can. We can start constructing buildings, and we can do upgrades in the regions, which is nice. Okay, so building Middlesbrough. What's going on here? Not enough muskets, so we can now produce things as well. Not all factories or shipyards are used. Okay, yeah, I see that. Construction management, production management. What do we need to produce? We need muskets. Muskets, Brown Bess muskets. Let's get them in there. So we're making 29 per day continuously. It might be that I do something else as well. Let's make some cannons, because cannons are handy. I'm going to do 3-pounder Galloper guns. Make 12 of those. And we will assign one factory to those, because muskets are much more important. We're still making 26 per day. 23, well. Yeah, that's okay like that, actually. Let's make 23 per day, 2 days to construct our little 3-pounder Galloper guns. As well as that, I want to make a few of these little ship-based guns, because we're going to also have some more ships coming. Let's make 26-pounders. And we'll assign these 2 factories to that once the Galloper guns have been made. We want to maintain loyalty in places like this, and we want to maintain loyalty up here, of course, Quebec, which is on 70%. Let's have a look. So what I like to do is construct printing press. So printing press plus 0.3 loyalty every week. So this means we don't need to garrison this potentially, and the loyalty will grow, but it will take 16 days for that to be constructed. Also up here we get to make gold, and we've got furs. Useful meeting. You've met with various individuals knowledgeable in economics and they have provided you with the following advice to enhance your financial situation. Consider the possibility of raising taxes, export the resources and goods, manufacture value-added goods in England and distribute them to the colonies. Yeah, of course. Priority the security of trade routes. Yep, so furs, tobacco, and rum. Not all factories or shipyards used. Well, yeah, we aren't using all our shipyards. Let's see, ships. Do we need to make some? Well, let's make some merchant ships, maybe. Let's make 12 merchant ships. Again, it comes through continues. I didn't want continues. Let's make 12 merchant ships. That's using 15 of our shipyards. As well as that, let's make some of these smaller ships. Let's make a 6th rate sloop of war. Let's make 6 of those. No, that's not. Let's make 4 of them. And then hopefully we'll be able to equip those with some of them guns that we're building at the Bloomfield 6-pounders. We'll see. Time is ticking on. The Gaspee affair. The Gaspee, a British customs schooner, was enforcing trade regulations in Narragansett Bay when American colonists led by John Brown orchestrated its burning in protest against British authority and perceived tyranny. This event intensified tensions between colonial merchants and British officials, ultimately becoming a significant symbol of resistance. Massive loyalty dropped across all colonies and tension increased once again, so we're getting closer and closer to war. We are now on tension 92. You need to sell some goods that have been delivered from the colonies. They fetch a much better price in England to sell 5 furs in the British market. Okay, so let's go to the British market. Let's find our resources. Not resources, supply. Let's get to furs. We've got 10 in storage. Okay, so let's sell 5 of those. Going to make us £3,200. So thinking about construction and buildings, Baltimore, let's build something here. Let's go again with the printing press. Try and keep morale up. We will have an army down here, I think. Philadelphia, which obviously becomes the capital of the rebellion, is something we'll leave alone for now. We sold the thingies here, the furs, so we've got 5 reputation points and 2,500. Nice. Boston, we're still constructing the capital. Middlesbrough, again, let's go right ahead and construct ourselves a printing press. Newport, now this is fairly secure at 85%. Let's build something different here. Let's make ourselves some merchant houses. Merchant stalls. Going to make us 100 per turn. Providence, again, it's pretty stable. Let's make ourselves a carpenter shop here to get us some more resources. Leicester is not stable at all. It's on 36%, so do we want to build anything there? I think probably not. Portsmouth on 100%. Nice, so they were building the capital in there. Falmouth is okay, but not great. Let's try again with the printing press. So as we move up here, we can see things like here we've got fur trading available. Let's make some fur trader houses. So it makes us 1 fur per turn. It's going to take a while to get there. It's 122 days. This is out in the middle of nowhere, really. We're also going to have fur production here at Castine. You can make substantial money with that. So we've got production infrastructure. If we go ahead and, well, I was going to say mining. I don't know. Does that make us have more gold since there's gold there? Our informants report the establishment of caches and warehouses filled with weapons and ammunition across the colonies. This indicates the rebels are preparing to take decisive action in the near future. We must increase our vigilance concerning the rebel activities. So we can now open the Secret Service. I'm just going to pause it a second. So I wasn't sure if mining will increase the gold. Let's see what it says. The presence of this strategic resource offers an income boost. So just that. Nothing else, really, I don't think. Let's go ahead and increase the factory production up here. So, pretty good. What are we building Quebec again? Oh, the printing press, that's right. And up here, it's got some decent production points, so I'm going to do merchant houses here, I think. Merchant stalls, sorry. And we're also going to make the printing press. The printing press is very important. Montreal, again, is a nice big city, this. Well, pretty big anyway. Decent workforce in there. Let's go ahead and build a church. So that reduces the negative effects of loyalty by 25%. So if that's dropping a bit, this will negate that. Fort Saint Chambly. Again, we're going to go here, and we're going to go with the fur trading house. Fort St. John's, 580 men garrisoned there, so that's pretty decent force. And we're going to go ahead. Let's see, what should we go for there? Let's go with the merchant stalls. But we're also going to go, because we've got resources in here, current weekly production of wood, so this place makes wood. If we increase the mining, that also really increases the wood production, and wood is very important, so let's do that. It's going to take a while though, 400 days. We're going to increase agriculture up here. Spend quite a lot of money, but I mean, you do need to do that with mining in Middlesbrough. We're going to go with military structure in Providence, because we are going to need to expand our army somewhat. And that'll do for now. We're going to move time on. We can research Secret Service, so let's do that. I'm going to open it straight up. And we're in March 1775, so maybe... Oh, we've got a load of troops in here, actually. So that's the 4,800 men. Okay, now I'm with it. That's actually a substantial amount of troops. Remember, before I was thinking it was recruits, but actually it was a full bunch of regiments for that. Okay, excellent. That's more than I was expecting. Not all factories are used. Oh, it's the shipyards that aren't being used. Okay, ships. So I'm going to make a couple of armed transports. They're going to come in handy. Again, it continues. I don't like that at all. And let's also make... What kind of ship should we make? Unity class. Okay. Make 4 of those. So I think maybe a good place to end this will be when we've unlocked this as well. I know the episode's going on a bit long now. And not a huge amount has happened, but we are learning the game here. I feel like we are learning the game. We're getting there. You can now develop an advanced intelligence service that enables you to gather valuable information about enemies' plans. Okay. Diplomacy is fundamental. Change tensions. Well, first I'm going to go back on here and study the militia thing that we had. We're going to assign somebody to the Secret Service. Wilson Fraser. You're the man for that job. Plus 5% reporting. We can't open anything else, so there is that. Supply and Logistics 1 we can now unlock, but I'm going to leave it because I'm not that fussed about it. Change tensions. Okay, so convene the International Relations Committee. Let's do that. We've got a tension alert with France and a tension alert with the Spanish Empire. Let's see if we can make friends with the Iroquois. Iroquois? I don't know. It's always one of them ones I struggle to say. Okay, so what can we do here? Cultural respect. So that would increase relations by 10. We'd lose 5 reputation points. That's okay. We respect their culture. Let's do that. Let's hire ourselves another general. Who do we want to go with here? Geoffrey Amherst, Marriott Arbuthnot, John Burgoyne, John Byron, Archibald Campbell, Guy Carlton, Henry Clinton, Cornwallis, Conway, Charles Douglas, John Darling, William Erskine. He disgraced himself in the Peninsular War when he arrived there as like an 80-odd-year-old. He was deaf and half mad, so they say. Thomas Gage. We've got lots to choose from. Let's go with Charles Cornwallis. So he's our new guy. He can come over with some of these troops from Britain. Let's make ourselves a new fleet. We're going to send him over with 4 regiments. And let's attach a ship to that. There we go. So 4 regiments with Cornwallis. We'll decide where they go when they get there. 31 days. Yes. Let's speed this up a little bit. We've changed the tension, so that should resolve itself soon. There we are. So what have we got now? We've got 157 Brown Bess muskets in storage. That's not too bad. So we are still constructing those in our production tab. So 23 per day of those. We're making them continuously. Maybe I'll change that. Maybe we'll make like, let's make 700. Otherwise we're going to be at this forever. We're making the Galloper guns in 2 days. They'll be done. Then we're going to move on to making this. We've got 11 factories here. That's not too bad. 1 day left for the sloop that we're making, or the 4 sloops. Is it all 4 going to be made together or just the one? I really don't know. 2 days left for our merchant ships, so we're going to have plenty of merchant ships for the moment anyway. Additional mine. I'm not sure. What are we producing in England now? Still the same stuff. Brown Bess. We've got quite a lot of them. 2,500 now. We've got 8 factories. Oh, because I've leased 2 foreign ones. I don't really know why we've only got 8 factories. 6 factories in the whole of England? UK? Am I missing something? And this as well. We've only got 5 first, which is the same I had before. So nothing has arrived from America. Is that right? I really don't know. Like I say, it's not really that clear. So 3 ships there on their way with 5 ships with wood. Or with 75 wood. Okay, tells you there. So 3 ships are on their way with 30 iron. We've got no ships on their way with copper, maybe. 5 ships on their way with wood. 3 ships are on their way with saltpeter. 3 ships with provisions, but we should be sending provisions there, surely, not the other way around. 1 ship is on the way with 50 recruits. Or is this stuff that is going there? No, this is... Right, so this is going from Britain to the Americas. This is coming from the Americas to Britain, so we are sending provisions back. I don't know why. Like, we don't really want to send provisions. So we're shipping saltpeter there once we have more than 10. Now, that kind of makes sense because obviously we're producing most of our stuff in England. Wood, yeah, that's going as well. We've got 5 armed transports here, which we could sell for 30,000. But can we not send them back? We've also got 7th rate brigs times 7. I mean, I'm a bit confused about what's going on. I'll have to have another little look through between recording. Like I say, it is quite complicated, this game. And rebel activity. News of new troops arriving has significantly heightened tensions among the colonists, according to reports from loyal subjects. Rebels across the colonies are preparing weapons and stockpiling ammunition. So we are heading towards the point where we are going to be into armed conflict. I do feel this is a good place to end the first episode. So we have opened up everything in the headquarters. The war is kind of inching forward and is going to be starting soon. So I do hope that you've enjoyed this one, that you've stuck with it and checked it out and watched the development of everything so you know where everything is. If you'd like a unit in-game, then do become a member of the channel for just 99p. And pick whatever you want to call your regiment. Yeah. As long as it's nothing rude. And if you want future episodes before everyone else, then again, become a member. 99p will get you through the door. And it supports this channel, which would be awesome, obviously, because it is hard work and it takes a long time. Well, it's not hard work, but it takes a long time to produce these videos. Anyway, so I do hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you'll join me for the next one where we're getting started, really, because this was mostly just a setting up episode, but I have enjoyed doing it. I've enjoyed working through it methodically. I've enjoyed following instructions, basically, and doing it as it's told us to do it. We've got a lot of things going on. We've got armies on the move. We've got armies coming in. We've got generals arriving. We will be spreading our troops around. If you have any ideas at all about the campaign, then, you know, I'm all ears. Put it in the comments. But for now, I hope you're having a great day whatever you're doing. I hope you'll come back and join me for the next one. I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel and becoming a member of the channel, which would be awesome. And I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later.